are live on YouTube, and we means Online School of Drama. Online School of Drama welcomes you. I am Shuba, founder and director of Online School of Drama, and this is the beginning of a podcast on the topic nurturing arts and creativity in education. The idea is hosting practitioners, experienced practitioners all over India or maybe beyond India later, who share their experience, their challenges, their insights, their vision related to arts and the role of arts in education, bringing them together and bringing their experience to the people who are beginners in this field or maybe experienced ones. I think we need to connect with each other, all the practitioners, new or old. So that is also the purpose, and creating a platform where we get in touch with one another. So today's guest is Mr. Debraj Dutta. Debraj, welcome to this beginning of this podcast. And I'm very thankful to you to be ready to share your experience and your insights with all our viewers and all those who are interested. Welcome, Debraj. And
Thank you.
before I ask, I start some conversation with Devraj, I would like to introduce Devraj in a few words. Devraj Datta is a postgraduate in design and direction from Ravindra Bharati University, Kolkata. Primarily started his career as a theater designer and director. He has wide and varied experience in children's theater, drama in education, theater in education, and educational theater. He has worked as an actor teacher in theater in education company of NSD, National Institute of Drama, and is still associated with this premier institution as a senior resource person and visiting faculty. He has been working in teacher educational training in drama education for the past 12 years and had been associated with Ajim Premji Foundation as a senior resource person of teacher education, academics and pedagogy for drama education from 2011 to 2016, 5 years that is. He is currently working in Shiv Nadari School as a senior theater faculty. Welcome, Devraj. And my first question will naturally be, how come that you have chosen this profession? You have decided that you will work in the field of arts in education or particularly drama in education. Were you working towards this or it was just an accident? And how did it happen? Will you share a little about it?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the space, and it's a great opportunity for me to share my experience. Once again, thank you for Online School of Drama for giving me that opportunity. And
Welcome.
you asked me a difficult question. It's like I used to take like 2 3 days of sharing this narrative how I came into this whole arena of education and educational theater. So, in brief, I can say that uh,
So
it
we
was,
have 2 3 minutes, not two, three
yeah,
days. Sorry.
sorry, please remind me because
Yeah.
I am not a good speaker, so only I can share. So I
No.
am,
All right.
so, so okay. So the thing is, basically, I started my school education around that year of 1990s. It's like I just passed out from 1995 from like my 10 plus 2. And that time it was I was not getting that enough attention in my life. So
Okay.
that's the one thing, attention, getting an attention in your life. Because I was an average
Uh-huh.
student, I always being compared with my elder brother because uh, he was having that aura that time, that okay, yes, this is that, and this is this.
How one should be. This is how one should be.
Yeah. Yes. So I was always being compared and that thing, and that was quite. It was in my mind, and somehow I was looking for my own space, and I left my native place and went to Kolkata and Rabindranath University to just to get that attention. Only thing is attention, because
Okay.
I was pursuing the physics career, like kind of diploma engineer,
Oh,
whatever. So it's like shifting from physics honors to drama and arts.
oh, oh. I did not know that. I
Yeah.
know a little about you, but I did not know that. Okay,
So
great. So
so that
no,
is the whole. Sorry, just we finish. I'm just finishing it. That is the
sure, sure.
whole the shift of, like I was deliberately looking to change his space and change the ambience and change his whole audience just to get single point of attention. That is, in
Fi-
short, to coming to theater, mainstream theater. Yes,
Okay, so it was in Kolkata or it was in Delhi that you got into theater and you got some attention?
it started from Kolkata, and I'm very much fortunate that that time I got attention from Miss Joyti Bose. That time it was like it's a kind of, and I really came to know this what is theater for children and what is the idea of. But the point was only attention, attention. She was the only that time youth director who was looking for to attend kind of 19 plus years children. They are completely, they don't have that literally background of theater, but they have some passions. So that time it was kind of, I got the space. Okay, no, yes, somebody can listen to me, somebody can seriously to me. So that was started, and that the whole journey started. And again I'm going, and I just walked throughout the Kolkata, all more or less all the groups in small pockets. But finally when I started this mainstream, when I say that okay, I was that time I was looking for a designer or director, kind of actor. It's like it's a kind of okay, if I do something, people will listen to me. If I do something, people will really sit down and observe me. So that kind of aura and started, and I started my career with Santanu Bose. and and it's like that mainstream theater. At that time I do believe that okay, being an actor, I know how to manipulate audience, how to shift the focus point of audience. So that time it was in my field, but I didn't know that what is waiting for me. And I failed 3 times in NSD as a student, and desperately
Okay.
that time I was looking for that. I need to like need to have a secure, have a space in National School of Drama, but I failed.
Hmm.
And that
Okay.
failure gave me that an opportunity to associate with National School of Drama TI company, and where my journey began. This drama in education journey from a mainstream theater kind of snob Bengali, always like taking advantage. Okay, if I do something, you will not able to understand this kind of rhythm. But
Okay.
I I came there, and this whole 360 like vision of myself. Okay, this is India. It's not only Bengal. So it's a really a great opportunity for me that time, and I joined 2004 uh, theater and education company, and you or people were welcoming over there, and it was a great opportunity for me. Yes,
That was the time your journey in drama in education or theater in education has started. You mentioned very interesting thing. You wanted attention. And now my question is, how arts cater to this attention in schools? Like, can you parallelly see it in a school? A child, a student needs attention. How will you define it, and how does drama fulfill this needs to get that attention in life? So, will you elaborate on that, and how do you see this in school life for students?
Yeah, school life. Look, this thing, the crisis, what happened with me because not getting enough attention. It's when I came to this field, and I said like, what is the position of an average student? And when you talk about merits and all the school, mm, like all examination system and all, there you find that there will be 1 to 10. It's like they are always there getting that attention because of that. That fortunately, that time already started where some people of some of our seniors, they were looking into that how to change this whole paradigm. It's somehow every student have that right to get attention. Like, so, like before it was, for my schooling, it was like one frame. You have to fit into that frame. But after 2005, NCF formally, before already it was there, it started with there, because every learners has their own frame. So there is not mandatory to fit into in one frame. The frame is not decided by a teacher. Frame is decided by a student. So there I can position where drama can create an immense opportunity and create an environment, or arts, sorry. I'll come to that why because it's come to me why always I say this drama. So it's like provide that enormous opportunity where learners can find their own frame. Look, this is my frame. I can see this way. Please recognize me. Please consider me because I am seeing. Don't direct me what need to be seen. I have my own individuality, and also that individuality is not only restricted to my individuals. It's also some other sources of my how I shape my individuals. So I think the immense potentiality of arts is create or co-create those frames of visions. That is, I think, what's the whole like purpose of art
Good.
in
So
school
from
education.
attention, yeah, yeah, from attention to frame, you have explained it beautifully. And for our viewers, I just want to say we are talking about art, and when we talk about arts, we mean all arts, all performing arts and visual arts, and then different people are working with a focus on a particular art. And as far as Debraj is concerned, we know he is an expert in drama in education and theater in education. Now, when we say drama or theater, we have certain notions. We are not talking about layman's point of view, but it's still in the fraternity, those people who are working in drama and they have certain notion. Even in Indian context, I can say they have different notions of it. How do you look at drama? What is drama, and what do you think, how should we look at it? What is drama for you? And then we will come to your work in drama in education. How do you explain what drama is?
Look, lots of our seniors, they explained in a very like a fantastic way how do I look at drama. So I'm just connecting with one of our senior when Vygotsky said that play is a kind of natural element of a child to create his or her own learning and connecting dots with this outer world. And play is all about how do we play? And it started in early years. It started from my bedroom. It's like, okay, and trying to do something because I'm not because I'm always like supported with my frame, that they are always protected me. I have a safe environment, but I need something to start to learn to connect with the like external world. So in that time, it was very abstract for me. It's like I'm just again. It used to be a very abstract that okay, oh, I don't know what is the function of this thing, but it started with that notion. Okay, let's explore it, and there I can find my own rationale. Why is this exist, and how is exist in my life? So finding this possibility, oh, how do we connect myself? If I close my eyes, nothing is exist. If I open, then everything is exist. So this it's very Einsteinian approach. It's law of relativity says that it's only when you consider something that only can exist. So it's naturally it happens with child's mind, especially in early years. So drama, the role of drama started over there, and the the whole idea of the taking uh, carry forward those things. It's school education what is done, but the beneath of this whole idea, it's is basically what Vygotsky mentions. It's dramatic play, and there is nice like article by Rabindranath Thakur also, and how children they use this dramatic play to connect their dots to their external world. So drama is there. So being a facilitator, educator, and whatever you call, so our task is, I'm not saying job, task is to create that environment where they can easily play those things and connect their previous thing and their future, and making in between a kind of synthesis in between where they can identify, oh yes, this is I am, and I am doing this. So
So, in a way, drama starts with a kind of play. Drama is a play. You say dramatic play. And for how long in a child's life you think it continues, and when does the meaning of drama changes for a child? What do you think about it? Like the drama you say is a play and it involves imagination that makes a child unique. And but how does it change over the years, the concept of drama in a child's mind? Do you have anything to say on it?
yeah, it's like that when you say that, look, imagination, it's because it comes later. When I'm talking about early years, when it's like age 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like grade two, like grade two. What is the average age of grade two in our country? It's
7 years, 6 years,
6 years. So
seven.
7. So 6, 7 years. It's you can exit this years. Now they are coming from that whole arena of concrete to reality. So that
Mm.
time, it's like their play. It's completely they're playing. They're just juggling with that, and they're playing with that because the connection is abstract to the focus is but they used to try to connect. Okay, I am also part of this society, and I am connecting my wavelength to this society. That's why I have to little bit grown up, and this is the way of coming from the abstract to realism reality. Okay. But here, the drama, when you were talking about sociological imagination in sociology, in dramatic imagination, it actually it starts from three onwards. Because previously it was completely they used to go for one teacher. I'm talking about typical Indian school. I'm not talking about typical public school. I'm not talking about government school. But government has the same setup, but it's not functional, I know. But I'm talking that this is the transition age where you can put the idea of imagination. Before it was like, then again I say that one thing is I'm really nowadays I'm really focusing on that. School education is not to prepare them for future life. School education is for to live their recent the current life, not to prepare them. This is kind of this whole idea of shift that, okay, no, we are not going to prepare anyone, just giving them enough scopes to live their own life, particularly this time being. So
Yeah.
that's
Making what is going on in present meaningful to them. And I think the gist of mental of the expert lies in this, that
yeah.
they live, yeah, the life at present, not preparing for the future, everything for future. So that is one thing. So when you joined the TIE company of NSD, was that the year, in a year or two, was that the time you decided, you found that, yes, this is now I'm going to work all over my life? Or there were times where you thought, what is this? You got confused, you got some challenges and you thought, or you thought, oh, no, it's not working. Were there any confusions, any challenges? Or your journey was smooth and you're enjoying it? Because in India, especially, we have a lot of confusions. As many experts are there, as many ways are there. We do not have platforms where we come together and try to understand, build collective understanding. And that is why this podcast is coming in, so that we try to understand one another also. So, what was it for you? Was a smooth sailing, step by step going up, or there were ups and downs, and you were, I have already spoken my point. What do you think?
So it's like that I'm not going with that word of confusion. It's for me it's dilemma.
Dilemma, yeah.
It's yes, it's dilemma for me because that time I was not sure to do, but there was something in back of my mind. That time I didn't know that. But when we started this, actually, it was like with some interaction with Maya Krishna Rao was really remarkable in my life. Kind of foundation stone about what I want to do, what I want to pursue. And that time I heard that statement it made by Maya that if you want to do work, if you want to pursue your work in children here, you have to do it throughout your life. So it's like that, okay, let's see. And the dilemma was that, okay, now to demystify that aura of theater director, designer, and actor, and becoming a facilitator and also a learner, it was not very easy. Because, and very often I used to go, okay, why, Debraj, what are you doing, man? You, you should do acting and all. Why you are wasting your time here? So it was like, and they are all my buddies. They were saying in that, okay, with a concern that why you are wasting your time. So it was stuck in my mind, okay, working with children is wasting of time. In mainstream theater, it is a kind of notion. Somehow I can say sorry. I really beg your pardon, all the viewers, that okay, I'm not making it was just an experience for me. But I today I can say that I am able to change this vision. It's not that, but that time I was facing that. And somehow I was trying to manage, and I was trying to roam. Also, I went to Mumbai and trying to pursue my career in cinema. I don't know. Again failed. So failure is one of the key words in my life. And then again, I came back to TI company, and that summer workshop, the experience of summer workshop, is unique for me, where I can I can relish my all my failures and start it with a new journey, and it go on so far. So that was the kind of transition to in this field. It was not in fluke, but not planned yet. But I was into it, and I got the purpose, and that's why I'm still doing it. And thankfully, it's almost 21 years. 2004, I joined TI company. So almost about
Oh, yes, 20 years, 20 years
20,
gone
28 plus.
from that. Yeah. So in these 20 years, with this much of experience in drama and arts, and as far as I know, you have been working actively in arts in your school where you are currently working. So now, what what has uh, what has been your do have you deviated from drama in education? Do you see any bridge between arts in education, arts, or what are the possibilities with the arts? What do you think? And do you say no, drama in education encompasses everything, or other art forms have equal say, or how should we go about it? What is the possibility with all art forms in the scenario of a school? I'm asking you because you have been working in a school for quite many years. So what is your take on it?
Yeah, it's like I'm really great. It was my great. Uh, you can say that uh, a, a great scope what I had in Shivnada school, and still I'm pursuing that. And there, initially, it was a big struggle for me, because theater always has its own dominance, because theater is basically, I do believe theater is not a maulic art. It's not an individual art. It's a composite art. So uh, people used to call me in Azim Premji Foundation also, Are Natak Wale. It's like, okay, it's like, and it was really a kind of hammering on my mind. Okay, what does it mean? Natak Wale means I'm an educator. So please also give me that respect of that. But thankfully, in Shivnadar, the scenario is completely different. It's really all arts people, they equally get that attention again, that as an educator. And there, initially it was difficult, because in Shivnadar we are very much focused about when we depart any learning or create. So we used to always say these three things which we are completely focused on. That is attitude, knowledge, and skill. So
Hmm.
these three pillars are really one of the in throughout Shivnadar learning fraternity. And knowledge skill, it's completely we have a plan, a structure plan. We have different rubrics and different frames for that. But how do you have attitude? How to go by this? How to shape those attitudes? It's very difficult. Where the arts, the importance of arts, it's very inevitable. When you're talking about attitude, like, because in education, mostly in education, it has to be a measurable outcome. But when you talk about attitude, how do you measure that attitude? So
Hmm.
it's very difficult in arts. It's like it's not that you are fixing it. Okay, in sports is very easy. You have to finish. You have a goal. You have to finish that. You will get that. If you don't finish in between, you will get another one. But here, who will set the goal? So in that area, Shivnadar has been doing a tremendous work of building attitude. And there, it's like all arts forms. When you talk about arts in education, it's the basic difference I always used to that the instrumental approach.
Mm-hmm.
The instrumental approach of using arts, because we have been doing using in Shivnada school, using and doing both together. Using, when you using, like I have my arts element and I am using for something which, and that is this is my own explanation, that I consider that is drama. Like when you start thinking of just making a pahar, or that scenery, typical scenery, that
Yeah,
also
yeah.
in my childhood also, one two pahar and two some
Sun
five
and
six
river and all that.
birds and
Yeah.
but you can see everywhere the same, but the inside thought wouldn't be the same. I think is that drama is there when the store when the process of thoughts starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think every arts has its own drama. It's not at all the completely what do you call, it's like pioneership of theater, and drama is everywhere. So that's why arts is very important. When you start doing a singing, when you start doing a dancing movement, uh, drama is there because you are going to show something and your cognition is working. And when cognition is working, manifestation, I do call it drama. Sorry, I can be wrong, but this is my way of explaining that drama is everywhere. So that's why theater people, please don't consider drama is only your thing. Drama is everywhere in every arts form. But when you transform it to theater, then the the whole the form uh, creates a difference. That okay, now it's theater. So that's why I don't know whether I'm able to address your question or not, but this is my own experience about how I position arts, or how do we visualize arts in school curriculum, especially Srinagar, because I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I got an idea of what you are doing there, and things like three things: attitude, knowledge, and skill, you said, and the using and doing thing. Um, but do you have any idea, like, i- what is doable? What you are doing there in your school, is it doable for others, for other schools? Because the most problematic thing in our system is there is no time for these things. How is it possible? How are you doing there without creating any problem for curriculum or syllabus completion and all that? What are the lessons that other schools can take from there if so much emphasis and so much work is being done there, or it is a one of its kind school, nobody else can do it? So what can we take from that there and bring into practice in other schools? What are the possibilities with this?
Uh, one thing is, the first and most important thing is you have to have, any school can do it. It's not about Shivnadar's legacy. Any school can do it. You need to have that educator. You need to have those pedagogues. They are very clear about that. And you need to have a kind of setup where we don't will not have that demarcation of, okay, look, you are social science teacher, you are the maths teacher, you are something else, and you are special teacher as arts. So idea of not doing that exercise of feeling. Any school that if they position the arts in the heart of their curriculum, and it's feasible, it's possible, and we do have recommendation throughout the world, all the school curriculum. But only thing is, again, where when I'm talking about knowledge and skill, it can be acquired. But attitude, it it same as learner and same as educators. You need to create that environment where you do have the possibility of resilience, possibility of empathy, possibility of love and compassion, possibility of not to only reach the task, reach the excellence, and possibility where the excellence cannot be judged by only result. So that kind of atmosphere we need to create. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Good. Good to know that all this is being done, and you also look at the feasibility of it. But would you please elaborate for me and for many viewers who might be thinking, what is this attitude? How little explain it? And then it's very interesting that you are talking about measuring this. So two parts. What exactly we mean by attitude?
Yes.
And then tell me little about measuring it, because it is so important to work on it, and again so important, equally important to measure it. These two parts, please throw
Yeah.
some light on it so that we
Yes.
understand it.
Definitely. When you look at the school education, if you isolate the assessment part, it will not
Mhm.
exist. It's important. If you go anywhere, so it's not that if you do work and okay, it will be organically happening, but you need to measure. It's measuring. I'm not talking about measuring, but there is something good. uh, People made some kind of frames where you can measure very.
We can say some kind of evaluation, we can say.
Yes, evolution, that
Yeah.
group is a,
Yeah.
so I'm just coming to that point. So I think is
Yes.
when you talk about attitude, one thing I do follow, I also shared in many platforms that being a facilitator or an educator or a pedagogue, I do follow one thing is three key principles in my life. It's collector. I do
Mm,
collect something, right?
mm,
Back and coming, I mean, just step into the class, and then I co-construct something. And
mhm,
third thing is then I connect to this whole external world. What is happening inside the class, and
mm,
making a connection with the outer world. That is one thing is like when you talk about an educator building an attitude, and same thing as well as a learner, because it's vice versa. We both
mhm,
learning together. I'm also
mhm,
building my attitude, and also learners they are building their attitude. So somehow we are coming to that. And how?
mm,
So how it's like, especially I do very often when I work with teachers, then I specially elaborate this. Please uh, remember these things is very important. It's you need to find a passion, and passion is not that okay, because every day you will be getting that same child, and next year the child will be changed, and again your more or less curriculum will be same. So
mhm,
somehow finding everyday happening is for me passion. Har din,
Okay.
uh, like there is need to have some kind of passion to going to the morning assembly and starting your the day with your passion. Second thing is definitely, if you do have a passion, you need to have a purpose. Purpose is important, and if you connect this passion purpose together, then it's very clear. But how to go about this? For that, you need a program. When it's a program, means all your planning, everything is like how I'm going to that. I'm connecting that frame. So
Mm-hmm.
you have that responsibility where you have in your class 30 odd students. You have to provide 30 frames.
Mm-hmm.
In terminology, it's called uh, mm, it's like universal design of learning. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
have that platter of that. Okay, I need to provide the buffet for all. That is learning buffet and frame. And then it's, I do call it praxis. Maybe you can call it pedagogy or whatever. It's praxis is, when I say the praxis is like is, it has to have that inevitable action in it. It's not only
Praxis. Yeah.
it's some beyond a practice. It's like because you have a focus that I need to finally and whole this process, how we're going, how we'll be going as learner, as co-learner, as practitioner, explore, examine, experiment, evaluate, and expertise.
Okay. So I understand. I get I get some idea of it, and also our viewers. And there is lot to know more about it. And it's a matter of whole approach. I think when you say attitude, I understand is what is your approach, total approach, your perspective of dealing with all what is in your hand. So I think it is inevitable. You do not do it with only arts teachers, you get in touch with the subject teachers then also. Is it right? Or when you
Yeah,
make all the planning? Yeah.
yes, it's a lot. Look, it's like when because in Shibnadar we do have that kind of practice where we one side we say arts for all, where
Mhm.
we we used to identify 2 to 3 concepts over the year, and we impart those knowledge base and skill through the attitude of arts, and it's
Mhm.
compulsory for all from 1 to grade 8.
Okay. So one needs to not only have the knack of drama or arts, but then you have to go into the subject knowledge also, right? You have to have that. Only then you can contribute.
Yes, because look, one thing is very important. Very often, it's also I really strongly disagree with all most of the very renowned school they used to that okay specialized teacher.
Hmm.
When you call yourself specialized, you that time when in the same time you're just making a kind of a compartment that okay I am specialized with that, so I am not dealing with this all the whole school. That is
Yeah.
the trap. We
Yeah.
deliberately
Yeah.
need to diffuse that. All teachers,
Mm.
it, like I can remember that when I can translate that word in my way, world's word that anybody can do drama, anybody can do arts, even artists or actors or it. So it's, we do have immense potentiality, immense possibility as human being. So all teacher must go through this practice, and they can they need to incorporate those magic of their own individual artistic attitudes towards their pedagogy.
Okay. So I think we have taken a lot of time to understand all what you do. Um, I have a couple of things to ask, and then maybe if any viewer wants to ask any question, we will take that question also in a while. But just tell me in brief, how do you evaluate, how do you assess attitude?
Very good. I was about to say that. Look,
Yeah.
there are many frameworks. It's like for the time being, and I found like last we were working on Bloom taxonomy, revised version of Bloom taxonomy. Currently in Shivnada school, we are following depth of knowledge.
Mhm.
It's it's very good. It's basically normal waves, Dr. Normal waves mechanism is very good, and it's really it's for me. I like make my life very easy. That okay. So measuring uh, anything like in action. So it's like important. It's nice because I can share you, or we can share with the other audience. Also, if you Google it, you will get that depth of knowledge is amazing. A spectrum of opportunity where we can put arts. Like okay, if we want to assess it, like when you assessment measure it, what exactly you need to know what I'm going to measure. When I
Yeah.
say measure, it's not that I'm measuring collectively we are like assessment it's not teachers driven it's we used to call it 360-degree like
Mm-hmm.
your peers. So that's a very simple
Yeah.
thing. You have to have the rubric. I'm giving an example. Like okay, you just gave me a task that Devraj use this object in three different ways.
Mm. Yeah.
So x explode in that way, y explode that way. Mm.
Yeah.
So so on and so forth. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't have the one parameter for that. So for that you have to be very mindful like that. Okay, your first task what was first, okay, is that learner using the shape of using the shape of those objects to enhance his performance or her performance. So that is one element. Then
Mm-hmm.
is that learner imagine enough to create extension of that? So in that way, if you make that rubrics particularly, and it's completely nobody will guide you because you are going to assess that task. So you have to have completely okay. I know my learner, so now I will only assess them how they are using it. So you
Mm-hmm.
they are using it. So it's like then you got okay multiple time using it. So in that case, in your class, you have to have that okay. Some children uh, uh some children were able to do the multiple tasks. Most children were only two tasks, two action of it, and some is really struggled with that. So if now is measure is not you are not making one framework. So you are making framework for different learners, and in
Mm-hmm.
between also that okay, I have given the one opportunity, next opportunity maybe. So it's like it's ongoing process, and
I
where
yes, good. I understand that. I mean, it is giving quite good idea. But is there a higher goal in the mind of the assessor or who evaluates, higher goal that these are the things where you want to take them, or you are just as reflecting in your rubric what they are doing, or do you have certain, you know, goals in your
Yeah, yeah.
mind where you have
You're
to
right.
take all through these
Yeah, yeah.
exercises?
You're taking. We are using one thing called TAM, targeted assessment metrics. Means
Yeah.
we before the beginning of the year, we do baseline assessment, and we do that what is the previous knowledge of particular learner. According to that, after a discussion, we set the target. Like if you talk about 1 to 5, I said that okay, X learner can go this mid of the term only 3. You can set again. This is Vygotsky zone of proximal development. You can't
Mhm.
force that child, because according to that learner's previous experience, you have to set a goal, but it has to be together means okay, let's see, okay, yeah, can we achieve, like example, okay, can we achieve certain things this middle of the term, and you set the goal, and after middle of the term when you revisit that, okay, so then the learning outcomes comes first. So when you are making any plan, so it has to be bottom to top. First, your learning outcomes. If you know, because that's why it's inevitable, you have to know your learner. If you know your learner, you know to some extent that learner can go according to that you plan. So that is there. It's not a kind of a, a set plan for all. That is the job of theater pedagogue. Okay, yes,
Yes. So there we work on baseline, we work on setting the goals, and then there are many steps in between. I don't know if it is possible, but if there is some material on your rubric and that you want to share with other practitioners, you can provide us a PDF or some link, and we can put it in the description. That will be your something. I don't know if it is no problem, or give some idea of it so that we others can also look at it uh,
yeah,
concretely.
definitely,
So we
definitely,
got some idea,
definitely.
right?
I have
So that
something
would be
I
great.
do practice. I can share with you. We can share anytime. We can share that link of that, because I do believe
Yes, yes.
knowledge only exists when it's
When
being
we
shared.
share. Yeah, yeah. So I have a small video where I see you are there, and it seems that you are doing that. Not seems, you are doing that. I want to see that video with you, and then I will have a couple of questions, and then we have some questions coming in. That is very good.
Very good. Yeah,
Imran Sheikh, I will come to you, and Meenakshi ji, I will come back to you. So please, bane rahiye idhar, and let's see this video. I'm going to share my screen. So, Devraj, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when we look different theater workshop, drama workshops, the scenes are more or less the same. But I'm sure the facilitator brings in unique elements depending on his ways of working. But what is the USP of Debraj? As Debraj know, what do you bring in? Like people look at the exercises, especially beginners, they say, I can also do this. Oh, I can also. But what does Devraj bring in these exercises, activities, or mm, these physical movements? Does
Yeah.
my question make any sense to you?
But can you just read that? Like, can you just reframe it? Or
Yes, like when we see any theater workshop, like we have seen this video, if I see any other theater workshops video where it is not a production oriented, but some kind of processes going on, the videos or the activities being done, the physical movement more or less seem the same. Even X is doing, Y is doing, Z is doing. But I'm sure everyone brings in some kind of perspective, some other kind of understanding through them. What is it that Devraj brings in? What is Devraj special?
so it's like that. Simply thing is, it's like I'm not special because I'm always. It's my great fortune to have a tutelage from a very far of Doti head court. It's like that because I'm Ikalabir. I never been to that like that space to being Arjuna for Ikalabir. So I'm always looking at her very closely. It's all about planning principles. How to plan it? Because positioning games, it's okay. It's everywhere. The game will is simple, but thing is how to position it. And one thing is like it's same as when you are doing a production or you are looking at any class. If you visualize that what will be learning outcomes, then the life will be very easy. Simply, if you know your learner, you have to close your eyes and you have to visualize end of whatever the tenure, whatever timeline of your end of this timeline, what is going to happen. You have to start from that, and that okay, this is I am looking how it's going to happen. Now I'm planning for it. So again, I'm just it's like top to bottom. It's like because usually what we do before, okay, we set the learning objective look, and it always like teacher centric. So now, so you do have a kind of extra responsibility to assume or not assume to also navigate your learner's learning curve. Then you will be able to visualize, okay, end of this term or session or workshop or anything. So now I can see how they will come up this, and then things will be very easy. So this is my simple
Yeah,
funda. I do that.
all right. All right. So it's kind of learning by doing, assessing your own work, and then building new work, and so on, as I understand it. And I have a couple of more questions, but let me see what are the questions or comments. So I am giving the Imran says, number one, as we grow and spend time in teaching drama to children in school, when do you think it's time to move from teaching primary school students, teaching MYP, middle year program, I think, and secondary students? When do you think it's time to move from teaching primary school students to teaching middle year program or secondary students? This is one question. Then we do. Would you
I'm
like
just
to
noting down.
respond to it? Then there is another question.
Hmm. Okay. Imran, hi Imran. It's uh, it's I can say that
This is Imran Sheikh from Mumbai.
Mumbai. So MOIP, they have their own curriculum, and IB they have a set. IB don't follow. They don't do drama in education. They have their own set. They are focusing on theater. They are more focusing on skills. So slightly, it's nothing is no nothing is no disagreement. Just sign slightly. They are more focused on theater. They are not focused on drama. So that is the thing is it's not that I think it's important that as in our system in K-12 education, I do teach from grade 1 to grade 12. So it's not that I mean, I can suggest you that like how to it's very difficult to earlier student to cater. I'm always seeking support for other teachers that please help me out. So it's like there is no set of line. I think you can uh, you can do simultaneously primary years, middle years, and senior years. There is no barrier in it.
Okay, and here's one more question. Okay, it's not this is in continuation actually. So, as the students in primary are more creative, and this is the age to develop cognitive skills, secondary students will be able to work on more complex things and give you satisfaction as an artist. So, this was actually the full question. I thought this is another, these are 2 points, but in continuation with the same
Huh.
thing. When should we start? But the primary students are creative in this age to develop cognitive skills. Secondary students will be able to work on more complex things and give you satisfaction as an artist.
Yeah.
So, do
Okay.
you
Okay. I'm
have
just
to add
continuing.
anything, or you have
No, no, I'm
already
just adding in
responded?
when you talking about concept-driven curriculum. So you start with the concept of that early years. It's like it's not about that because you start with that free play in especially in arts, also free arts, free everything free, and slowly you went to creative arts and in grade 3 4 and 5 6 onwards you can push them more and to particularly form of art and so on 7 8 9 10 you will get and has to be a vertical progression. So you have to align from the beginning how you are going to start with early years and then slowly it's only based on levels. The concept will be the same. Like when you talk about creating an ensemble, it's same for every every cohort, but level will be different. When you talk about ensemble building in grade 1 2, it's different, and when you talk about in 10 12, it's different. The levels are different. Otherwise, concept and in between, if you have a and there is completely prescribed progression you can see. So where you can start that, okay, how according to the learner's strength and cognition, how you can introduce your concepts. Basically, the our target is teach concept, whether it's in theater, whether in science, anything, whether in mathematics, we are going to use the concept. Maybe in mathematics, what concept they have learning, they have going through that learning. You have to connect those learning through arts. So there is like another extension. So in that way, your progression and your decision look okay. This year, from grade 1 and 2, I'm going to explore these concepts. Grade 2 and 3, this is there, and more add on. With CD kind of steps we need to add, and where your rubrics your assessment target assessment matrix will guide you how to assess them. Is there learning happening? How do you know that learning is happening? So you need to create that mechanism, though it's every school has their own prescribed mechanism, but you can also look at to other, like globally, what kind of different uh, like format they have been using to make it simply easier, not to tick mark, but to measure, to collect the data is important. He where it's delivered or not. It's simply as courier service. They do the job. It's delivered. Okay, it's delivered. And so is that corporate? Is this whole universal design of learning? It came from the corporate world. It came from the architectural world. They started building a mall, creating a mall with human centered. Everyone should get into the mall. And then this all the educator took that idea and okay, if mall can do this, why we can't do in school premise? So interesting thing. I always debate, okay, all we take from the insights, it's the whole corporate world, because they are trying to make this human centric uh, livelihood or living. That's as simple as that.
Okay. Is it so? I did not have this idea. Okay, good. I understand that we cannot go at length with Imran's questions, but the idea of this podcast is we come to know Devraj and Devraj's work, and people can get further connected. And we will give your contact address. Imran, you will get contact address. And if you think, no, you need to discuss or share something, so that is what we are doing here. So we will give Devraj's contact address. We can take it further. And Minakshi from Gurgaon has a question. I don't know if we have time to address it. You will have to be very brief because the question asks for much more time. She asks, how do you integrate drama with core subjects and achieve your goals, which you have set for your students in advance? Please explain with example.
It's like it's for that you need time. But I can say that I'm giving a recent example of mine in my school. Like we were exploring in grade 8 uh, the the concept was opposites in sync.
Mhm.
So that is our concept. But we are trying to connect with Indian democracy. So opposites and sync, I'm trying to make it very simple. Opposite things, how do you physically identify opposite things in exist in our life? We started with that,
Mhm.
and we did our arts exploration. Sorry, this is completely arts based. Arts exploration, like visual arts, we're doing finding picture, everything. It's like they came up with okay, it's walk clock or something. Also, we started with the dance movement. Okay, when we walk, we balance like opposite force is making a balance to make it happen when you walk, when you run. So these are examples started with this. And finally we have just uh, we are trying to connect with that. Okay, if opposites, it's completely natural phenomena, as we are completely diverse, and opposition is like it's our daily life routine. So when we do have that opposites, and we also seen that opposites, it's really helping us to connect together. Why it's not happening when we do have opposites of thoughts? Is there any way where our opposites of thoughts come together and create a system where we can run our whatever our need smoothly? And we took them to an imaginary island. It's a drama journey where they were like crisis situation, they have to, irrespective of different situation, different needs, they have to balance, and there they have to find their own government where they need to have that opposition. So in a way, we are trying to uh, teach the concept of uh, Indian democracy, but we have, when we have chosen that path of starting from opposites and sync. So that was in short. I do have a whole plan, and Shivnadar School is following that plan. We co-created that plan, and it was not easy. Almost 5 years it took. Now it's in shape. So every time trial and error, trial. Okay, now it's shaped, and now we have decided that now we have to continue this curriculum next 3 odd years. Then we'll do some little bit of changes. So this is.
Okay, good, good. Thanks. And Imran also thanks you for your response. He finds it insightful and he would like to connect with you in future. And those people who will see this session, this conversation later as recorded, they are also welcome to get in touch with Mr. Debraj. Yeah, that is the idea of whole thing. And I think there is no time for even for my questions, but it's still, I would ask, and you have to be brief, like,
Mhm.
what is creativity for you and how much important you think it is in our education?
In short, being a facilitator, educator, teacher, find your nonsense moment while you are dealing learners. Find your nonsense moment and also provide the space, safe space to identify learners' nonsense moment. I think that is creativity for me, and that is I do very often in my class, to just to hook them, just to connect them. Creativity for me, if you give the space for nonsense for others, and if you do nonsense, automatically you will get that unique sense of emancipation. That is.
Okay, I have taken note of that because I'm working on creativity, but making sense of nonsense is also interesting idea. And my almost last question will be, Debraj, how do Debraj look at the future of education and the role of arts into it? And I will add to it, what do you suggest to new beginners or practitioners? What are the hopes? And because if you have something to give us hope, so practitioners will move forward. So both things, what is the future with arts uh, of education, and your advice for new practitioners or all practitioners who are uh, passionate or who are really interested to work in arts and education?
Future is very difficult. Like uh, I only can say that future is like now it's in its focus. My future, if I see that every government school will have arts class regularly, that's way I'm seeing that. Okay, that is my way of seeing that future in India according to our national curriculum framework
Mhm.
2020 to 2005 and 2024 as well. So this is future, and 2004 curriculum framework also mentions very clearly it's a wide space is there. The future is we need to create arts educator, that how much we create and will able to cater this future, this purpose of, because it's now globally acknowledged that arts can provide uh, a different dimension of strengthen your learners learning. So it there is no doubt in. So all the young learners, you are, is that we do have our recommendation. Please go and read it and create your own journal and practice it with of a sense of purpose. So this is one. And second thing is, what was the second thing? Sorry. Hmm.
Second thing was about like the practitioners, the beginners. Would you like to say,
So
with your
I
experience, would
culminate
you like to
all
say?
the thing together. So it's like that. It's like that. Okay. Simply, this is like it's a thankless job. Teaching is a
Mm.
thankless job. Don't expect to come. Somebody will come to you and pat your shoulder and don't go by this illusion. If you do something great, it will be considered and acknowledged by learners and the whole learning fraternity. So just expect that. And one thing is document all your whatever you are doing. Document in which purpose? Documents only not about taking videos. Documents is every sense. How do you document? There's a multiple ways of documenting things, and connect your learner frequently. Like when you're talking about 1 year academic journey, how how often I do connect with my learner, with my purpose, with my target, and how do we connect with my stakeholders? Like when you talk about stakeholders, means learners community, means all the parents, because it's important when you do work in middle school, senior school, it's very important. Otherwise, it will be not recognized. It will be not uh, acknowledged, and you will be little bit okay. So I did lots of things, but it is main. So that's the thing. This is it.
Thank you, Deva. So that is the case with most of the learners. So I think we will have to stop here, Debraj. It's time to thank you for your time. Thank you very much. And a lot many things came from you to me, and I'm sure for many others who are watching or who will be watching. You, for me, some takeaways are like this, like learning to look at drama in broader sense and learning to assess what you are doing. And we need to create more and more art educators, and we need to document our work properly and put it properly. These are the things which are coming to my mind quickly. And so thank you for all this, and thank you for your time, and also pushing me. Actually, I will say that yes, you are going to start a good thing. It will connect many of us, and it will. The idea is it will connect people who even we do not know, so that we come together and learn from each other also. Thank you for that. And I also request my viewers that feel free to suggest how you felt about this conversation. And this is the beginning of something with the guest. In this case, Debraj is there. Like 20 years experience, it's very short time to take from there. So but it certainly gives us some idea of the work and vision of the person here. We have tried for that, but still your suggestions are welcome, so that we can make this podcast more meaningful. And I would say not only write suggestion, but subscribe so that we can make community of all those who are passionate about all the work, arts and creativity in education. Thank you everyone for being there. And Minakshi also says thank you, Debraj.
Thank
And
you, thank you, thank you all.
thank you everyone for being there. And we will continue this series of meeting our new guests every time. If you know someone that you want me to talk to, then please suggest that also. Debraj, I don't want to be the person who will speak last. Do you have anything to say? Anything which maybe you wanted to, but I did not give a space or did not ask that? Do you have anything to say?
No, it's like one thing is like I'm really grateful to you because this kind of platform is like important and we need to have the more and more. And only thing is like I know it's a very short time and would like to because I'm not an orator. I'm really, but somehow I hope that I was able to do it because I do work in action, not in word. But it's like it's virtual space after Corona. It taught us that okay, somehow कुछ होने से बेहतर है, कुछ तो हो बात से चले. तो ये है always that's great
Yes.
thing. I think it's like it's I know this is a platform where we can do this much only so I'm quite clear at that. So nowadays, I don't have any confusion, only no dilemma because I've been through lots of dilemmas in my life. So I'm very clear that particularly the task of this session is that and is fulfilled. I think it's my
Thank you. Thank you, Devraj, and thank you everyone who joined us.